Hi, I'm Karissa Vacker, and welcome back to Sleepwave, a podcast where we let waves of relaxation wash over you through original sleep meditations and hypnosis created to help you fall asleep tonight. So how are you finding our time together? Creating new episodes for Sleepwave for you guys has been so fun and meaningful for me. Not only is it great to be sharing my husband Billy's original sleep meditations with so many new people, I'm finding them helpful for myself, too. We're growing, and it would be great to introduce even more ripples to our wave. So to help us reach our next 1,000 listeners, would you be able to take a second to leave a short review of Sleepwave on your podcast app? It would mean the world. We read every review, and it will help us climb the charts, reaching more people that may need a little help with their sleep right now. I've wanted a front porch all my life. To my great surprise and delight, the place I moved to this summer has one, and I was out there every day. Even though I got devoured by mosquitoes, still I would sit, watching the rain fall or soaking in the thick air of Texas summer nights as the sky turned colors. My baby would lay in my lap those evenings, having his bottle before bed. He would turn his head and watch each and every car as it drove by, fascinated. Now, my yard is covered in leaves and the trees have gone from green to gold and amber. My baby, now 10 months old, will no longer sit in my lap to have his bottle if we are out on the porch. He is crawling and trying to walk. He wants to pick up every leaf and examine it and put it in his mouth, of course. He wants to pick the grass and explore the patches of dirt. Now he waves vigorously to those passing cars. Never in my life have I been more keenly aware of the passing of time and the great impermanence of things than I have been this year. Watching a child in their first year of life is simply astounding. They go from entirely helpless and fragile to robust and curious and have new skills every day. I am constantly having to let go of who he was yesterday to be present with who he is today. The idea of impermanence can be bittersweet. We've all had moments in life that we know are extraordinary, and then the time seems fleeting. When we're falling in love, or on a trip someplace lovely, watching an incredible sunset, or accomplishing some type of dream or ambition. Conversely, challenging times can seem to last forever, and then the idea of impermanence is a gift. We want to move on to the next thing when we're sick, in emotional or physical pain, going through a circumstance that requires more than we feel we have to give. Whether we're clinging to some moments or wanting to fast forward through others, the truth remains that change is a constant. So whether you are savoring or struggling with things, settling into the impermanence of the moment can bring both appreciation and relief. Just as the seasons shift around us, so do our circumstances. Tonight's sleep may be a struggle, or it may come easily. Either way, tomorrow may be different. So let's simply breathe together in the present moment, be it full of comfort or challenge. We'll let go of the need for things to be any different than they are. You have shown up here to meditate, and your mind and body will benefit tremendously. This is Embracing Change for a Deeper Sleep by Billy Gill. There's a famous saying that no man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. Constant change is a feature of reality. Some things seem more permanent than others, but it's only a matter of time until even the most durable things transform. Even rocks and stones are in a perpetual flow. Though the scale of time is much too long for us to perceive the changes, they are nevertheless as fluid as a river. We can easily see how our lives are never static. Still, it's a common tendency to get stuck. Maybe we cling to some former version of ourselves, an identity that seems familiar and therefore a bit more comfortable, but that we have already outgrown. Maybe there's an idealized image to which we are comparing ourselves that keeps us from inhabiting our real day and night. Because many people have fixed ideas about how they should look, dress, feel, think, speak, even sleep, life can become a tedious and dull routine, or perhaps even more upsetting, when reality doesn't quite match up with the theories we've devised about ourselves and the world. There can be a lot of anguish over that incongruity. The truth, however, is that nature is a dancer, and she is under no obligation to adhere to any form. She is most consistent in her inconsistency. Tonight's sleep meditation on impermanence will liberate your mind from the false sense that you are stuck. Any state of mind, any emotion, any physical sensation is passing away as soon as it arises. Unless it is conjured up again in the mind, it will eventually and inevitably vanish. It's understandable that many people wouldn't want to contemplate impermanence, but there is a subtle gift hidden within its not-so-shiny exterior. Contemplating impermanence opens the door to radiance. The world shines forth in a new way when we experience it more as a dynamic symphony rather than an artifact that has already been fired in the kiln and set on a shelf. As you lie on your back, relax your body by positioning yourself in the most comfortable way and try to be relatively still. You can always adjust your position or move your body if you need to, but stillness is very important for focusing your mind. Just make sure that you are conscious of any movements that you make. No unconscious movements. Now, visualize your breath as a river that flows through the channel of your spinal column. Allow each exhale to last a beat or two longer. Your inhale will take care of itself. Notice the brief pause at the bottom of the exhale, just a natural pause, and when you feel the impulse, yield to the need for a new breath and let the inhalation easily return on its own. Go on breathing in this way. If possible, breathe through the nose. Imagine that your forehead is smooth and relaxed. Your jaw unclenches. The bridge of your nose spreads wide. Perhaps there is even a soft Mona Lisa smile on your face. Allow each breath to last for about 5 seconds. Exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Natural pause. Inhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let there be a natural suspension of the breath as the inhale transforms into the exhale. The breath never really stops completely. You are merely giving the body the time it needs to transition between the two breaths. This river of breath is circulating through your body. Imagine on the out-breath, this river flowing down the front of the body. It flows downward from just above the top lip and beneath the nose, all the way down the chest, belly, and the out-breath finishes deep in your pelvic bowl. Imagine that the inhale propels this river up the back on the spine, all the way to the back of the neck, over the top of your head, and finishes just above the top lip. There's a natural pause between breaths. This completes one cycle. The river circulates from the top lip down to the lower belly on the exhale, goes deep within the pelvis, and the very next inhale draws the breath up the back of the spine again, over the back of the neck and the top of the head, until the breath reaches this point in the slight indentation above your top lip again. In the Taoist Qigong practices, this is known as the Microcosmic Circuit. It's an image of the cosmos as it is reflected in every human being. It's an elliptical pattern that continually circulates as you visualize the breath flowing. Just as the planets and moons and galaxies swirl in their ellipses, this pattern of the breath swirls in your consciousness. The path of an ellipse, similar to that of a circle, is unbroken and needn't change direction in order to return to its beginning. Like all cycles, the way is to return. In nature, circular patterns are abundant. The sun and moon are spheres. The earth is a sphere. In the receptacle of a flower, or the shell of a nautilus, or the eyes of a child, the circular pattern is clearly a favorite of nature. This cycle harmonizes the microcosm of your own nature with the macrocosm of nature as such. Even sleep follows the pattern of a cycle. In cycles, we see how impermanence gives rise to the new. Everything arises, flourishes for a while, and returns to its source. If we view time as a line, then impermanence is like a linear movement toward a final end. But if we see time as a cycle, then impermanence flows continuously within the present moment. It is the difference between movement from here to there and moment, which is only here. As you breathe this microcosm, this circuit within your own internal cosmos, the exhale flows from the indentation above your top lip down to the area beneath your navel, where your awareness enters deeply into the cave of the pelvis A natural moment of stillness gives rise to the inhale as it emerges up the back of the spine toward the neck, over the top of the head, and at the top of the inhale, you have returned to where you began. The insight of this practice is that you never really left. The whole cycle is one continuous, unbroken whole. When you sleep, you don't really go anywhere. Your mind is simply withdrawn from the movements of your daily life. The deep, peaceful rest that comes with sleep is already present and deeply connected to this present moment. The waking state is impermanent. The sleeping state is impermanent. The dreaming state is impermanent. Exhale from the top lip to the lower abdomen. Natural pause as the awareness goes deep within the pelvis. Inhaling up the back of the spine to the neck and over your head until you return to the top lip. Exhale and continue the cycle. The river of life flows continuously from moment to moment. It flows between the banks of pleasure and pain. But you are flowing with this river. Allow yourself to float downstream. From time to time, you will drift to the bank of pleasure and experience lovely feelings, thoughts, sensations. Other times, you will drift to the opposite bank, and life will be painful and filled with hardship. Everyone will experience both pleasure and pain. No one has only pleasure, and no one has only pain. The art of life is to allow yourself to float to either bank without getting stuck. Pleasure must transform. The chemicals in your brain that give rise to pleasurable feelings cannot sustain their effect indefinitely. The more more people try to remain on the pleasure side of the river, the more they are pummeled by the currents until what was once pleasant becomes its opposite. To flow with the current of the river is to embrace the changes of life. Sleep follows the same rule. The more you try to force yourself to sleep, the more difficult it becomes. If there is tension or grasping in your mind, your relaxation is disturbed. Let the cycles of sleep flow continuously without strain or effort. Float easily down this river of your breath. From the top lip, the exhale flows down the abdomen to the space beneath the navel and deep into the pelvis. Then the inhale flows from the tip of the tailbone up through the spine, across the back of the neck and head, until it returns over the forehead to meet the top lip once more. The next exhale flows downward again. Sense the fluidity and ease of the breath. Don't worry if you are having trouble following this current. With practice, it will become easier and easier. Just imagine that you are floating along this river of awareness. The present moment is your boat. See the soft, puffy white clouds against the blue sky. Soft, puffy white clouds against a blue sky. Weeping willows on the banks of the river. Weeping willows on the banks of the river. Snow-capped mountains in the distance. Snow-capped mountains in the distance. Crystal blue water. Crystal blue water. darkened sky, rolling thunder, rolling thunder, rain, rain, clouds parting, clouds parting, the night sky filled with stars, night sky filled with stars, sounds of the jungle at night, sounds of the jungle at night, campfire flickering, campfire flickering, red sky at dawn, red sky at dawn, a swan sleeping, a swan sleeping, misty morning air, misty morning air, church bells ringing, church bells ringing, the sun rising, the sun rising, the sun setting, the sun setting, crescent moon, crescent moon, shooting star, shooting star, scent of jasmine on the breeze, scent of jasmine on the breeze, full moon, full moon, the planets in their orbit, the planets in their orbit, rocks on the shore, rocks on the shore. Yourself seated in meditation. Yourself seated in meditation. Waves on the beach. Waves on the beach. The vast ocean. The vast ocean. What appears before your awareness appears, flourishes for a while, and returns to its source. Sleep is a return to the source. Cycle through the microcosm of your breath in the circuit, which flows from the top lip down the front spine, deep into the pelvis and up the back spine, over the crown of the head, to return once again. This cycle is a symbol of regeneration and rebirth. Let go what goes. Even if you cling, you can't make it stay. Let come what comes and flow with the changes of life. There is no need to get stuck in your mind. Your thoughts are flowing and changing all the time. They are not who you are. They are flashes on the screen of your awareness. Let them appear and dance for a while on the screen. Then let them subside. The presence that is floating through the river of life. Say to yourself, I am that. Float effortlessly into sleep. Let the flow of life carry carry you deep within to its source. Let go and let go and let go again. Sleep.